Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, it's half morning show, it's pretty much all BS. And of course, you got yours truly, the sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. Boom Boom here, shivering live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Of course, did you miss me? I missed you guys. It's been a hell of a past week here. Let's see. Sorry we haven't gotten a few of the reviews up. We're going to hopefully get that knocked out. We're going to have some more stuff taken care of. I want to give a big shout out to Dave Coco. His show, Operation FreakShow, is coming out really soon. So if you haven't, get your pre-order over on Amazon.com. You know, I don't ask for much from you from the internet infantry, but I would recommend checking it out. But anyway, let's talk some NXT. Of course, this is the first NXT show post WWE draft. So let me know what you thought about tonight's show. Did you give it a win? Do you give it a loss? Or do you give it a tie? So over here in the chat room, down here in the comment section, let me know what you thought about it. I'm just going to I'll give it a win. You know, I was entertained by it. I didn't think it was bad. We got some new stuff developed because I was worried that NXT was going to lose a step because of the draft. Yeah, you had about 6 talents get taken over, soon to be 7 once Bayley gets the full-time call up. I didn't know how the whole brand was going to react to everything, but I think they've done a great job so far of adjusting. So far, it's been a really good week for WWE. Believe it or not, I never ever thought I would say these words, but let's see. I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I watched like the majority of that. I think I only skipped like a couple of matches on that, and then I was thoroughly entertained by Raw. SmackDown, I didn't think wasn't quite as good as Raw, but I still think it was an entertaining show. Now I could probably get to those criticisms a little bit later this week. I think maybe I'd have to go back and do a review show, but let's stay on track here. Next, we start out with the first match here. We have Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Wesley Blake. Pretty straightforward match. Wesley Blake sporting some new intro music, some new ring gear. She's got some boots with some tassels on it. Shinsuke Nakamura over as hell. Wrestling just your typical match here. Blake, I will say this. I think this was his best singles match that he's had since he's been in NXT. He was really pulling out all the stops there. Had even had some close calls there with Nakamura there, but eventually Shinsuke got the win with the Kinshasa. This brought out General Manager William Regal. He said that Nakamura has been on a roll as of late, and he's going to get a title shot at Samoa Joe at NXT TakeOver. This will be in about 3 weeks from Saturday, so that will be good. Next, we got to some women's action. Now, this is something I've been looking forward to here. Asuka is still the women's champion. Bayley, I think she's just kind of like in purgatory right now. She did a one-off at the pay-per-view, and now she's going to be taking they're going to get to that a little bit later, but it's looking like she's going to face Asuka and take over Brooklyn. But and then everybody else that I thought that could be a possible contender. I'm talking about Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Carmella. They all get called up. So I was really glad that they brought out Billie Kay. Billie Kay, she took on Santana Garrett. And, of course, she got the win with a big boot right to Santana Garrett's face. I think it was a pretty decent women's match. I like how they talked about how they did bring her up on SmackDown. I think she took on Dana Brooke. I think that was a one-off. That's another thing I can't stand sometimes about wrestling fans is sometimes they, go use the NXT guys to wrestle some dark matches, to, go on like a tour. Or if they just need something like a squash or something, they'll use them for it. Just because they use them like up on the main roster for like a one-off doesn't mean they've been, oh my God, is that their main roster debut? Are they going to be up there full time? No, sometimes they just need to fill a spot. They had Billie Kay go up there and fill a spot on SmackDown, so they talked about that. Like, well, ever since then, Billie Kay's developed quite an ego. She really isn't talking to anybody. So I think it was a good debut for her. I don't want to say debut because she'd been on the program before, but I guess like officially now she's going to be a focal point of the women's division. now that you've got the rest of the ladies already called up, with the exception of a couple. Then that goes backstage. William Regal and Bayley are sitting there speaking in his office, and he says, and Bayley says that, you know, she's had some wins. You know, you've been here for the highs, you've been here for the lows, but I want my rematch against Asuka. And William Regal says, okay, I'll talk to Asuka, and if she's down with it, then, you know what, I'll draw up the contract. We'll have a contract signing. There you go. The next you had TM61. They took on, I know the guy's name is something Rising, I think Adrian Nails. I may have that backwards, but it was just a standard match just to kind of get TM61 over. Thorne and Miller, they got a win with Thunder Valley, shook hands with the jobbers. I think they're going to be the lead. I think they might wind up being the lead babyface team for right now, because right now NXT's only got 4 tag teams. You got TM61, you got Ciampa and Gargano, you got the Revival, the tag team champions, and then you got the Authors of Pain. That's it. That's the only 4 tag teams you've got. I kind of like that they're kind of getting a push here. I hope they position them to be the new next 2 top baby faces. And people are like, well, what about Gargano and Ciampa? Yeah, I like them. I just don't love them as a tag team. I think they're an okay tag team. I like them better as singles wrestlers. So I think putting them together was okay for the time, but when it comes down to it, I really see Gargano and Ciampa is singles wrestlers, so I'm waiting for the inevitable turn. Where I'm pretty sure it's going to be Ciampa turns on Gargano, but that might be for a while. But TM61 looking good. The next we had No Way Jose. He goes out and takes on Steve Cutler. Steve Cutler apparently has been repackaged. He's been given like a little bit of a military gimmick. He's a former Marine. Am I allowed to say that? I know it's once a Marine, always a Marine, but the guy was at one point in the Marine Corps. He is obviously currently not in the Marine Corps, serving actively. So I'll say that. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. Sometimes the vets, man, the Marines, man, they get pissed off about shit like that. I don't want to piss them off because they're cool people. No Way Jose doesn't, he has a little bit of fun with the dance moves, but eventually he gets the win with that half Nelson slam that he does. Then cuts, at least I'd like to think, a decent promo on Austin Aries. Saying, look, I just tried to help you out. I was just trying to, share positivity with you. You turned your back on me. You jumped me. And you know what? I'm going to, when you hit me when I wasn't looking, now that when I was, you were running. You're a coward. And I'm going to whoop your ass. I like that. I hope they set this up for Brooklyn. I think this could be like a good opener match. And then we get to see apparently the newest signee of NXT, Kota Ibushi, making his debut against Buddy Murphy. And dude, that was a pretty good opener or debut, if I do say so myself, and I do. And Buddy Murphy, man, Buddy Murphy got some licks in there. I like that. I think he got a pin combination there for what was it? He got him in a roll up. Anyway, he just took it to him. But Ibushi, man, had the fucking move, man, where he kicked Murphy square in the head and without missing a beat went over there and gave him a German suplex. That was only good enough for a 2 count, but that was pretty awesome. Eventually, Kota Ibushi hits. It looked like it's very similar to the Undertaker's Last Ride. He hit that maneuver, got the 1, 2, 3. Then we had a lot of cool stuff happen afterwards. Let's see. We had one of the interviewers, I think it was Charlie Carusa. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Samoa Joe comes back into the Full Sail Arena and tells him that hey, William Regal's made the match here against you and Nakamura. To which Samoa Joe doesn't take well to. He goes out there and he says, you know what, this has been disrespectful. Says, you know what, I'm not going to face Shinsuke Nakamura because he's undeserving. And William Regal comes out and says, you know what, you will do it. don't want to do it, then I'll count that as a forfeit. I'll strip you the title, and I'll find someone who does. And so Samoa Joe, and of course he lays out a good argument saying, you know what, when I wanted a shot at the NXT Championship, you made me have to jump after through hoop, through hoop, through hoop. Well, he's not having to do it. You know what? If you want it, fine, then you got it. But that's assuming I don't see him before Takeover Brooklyn. So a little bit of a threat. This ends the show. So I think it was a pretty good show. Oh, and by the way, we've got a couple of good incentives to check out next week. For one, Bobby Roode will be there next week. So I would love to see that. And also Hideo Itami will be making his return next week. I'm actually really glad to see Hideo Itami come back. He's been out for over a year. He's been wrestling some NXT house shows in the past few weeks. But I really felt bad for him because he got that shoulder injury. He got surgery. It didn't work, so he had to go have a second surgery, which is what delayed him for so long because the first surgery just didn't work. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good to see him back. I kind of want to see him make a run. Oh, God. Hideo Itami versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Put the NXT Championship up for grabs. Sir, you just sold yourself a pay-per-view. There you go. And Bobby Roode, and now you got Kota Ibushi signed. I think they've even signed another one of the guys with the Cruiserweight Classic. I know they've offered Akira Tozawa. Let's see. Cruiserweight Classic. Let's see. I'm down here. Who was it they said? Grand Metalik. Grand Metalik is someone else they signed. Sorry, I don't know why I was blanking on his name, but that's someone else they've signed. So I'm really interested to see where. So I'm thinking, I thought NXT was going to get hurt, but after this week, I think they're going to be okay. I really do. I think in the long run, they're going to be okay because, hell, they're goddamn NXT, and they know what the fuck they're doing. So let's have some fun here. And I do want to give a shout out to everybody watching. LK, man, LK, my homeboy, he couldn't be here. He's everything that can go wrong did go wrong, right? He had to have like a computer update, and that's taken forever. Plus, the minions tried to compromise his bank account and buy like a smartphone. So shout out to him. Wrestling Ranton's here, buddy. I haven't seen your new video in a while. I'll have to go check out your account. And by the way, speaking of Wrestling Ranton, subscribe to his channel. By the way, he's got some good reviews, some good insights on things, and also check out his sub channel. It's called Offensive Movie Reviews. Go check that out if you're a big fan of movies. I like the stuff that he did, and when he did like a little preview of the Rob Zombie flick 31, and I just thought that was kind of enjoyable. Brandon Matthews gives a shout out to Kota Ibushi. Chauncey Bullock, Jeff Hardy debut in NXT. Not going to happen. I know that Jeff Hardy has said recently that if he retires, he wants to retire against The Undertaker at like Mania. Good luck with that, but I don't know. I could probably see that happen. Let's see. What else is going on here? Oh, I'm going to tell everybody. Let's see. I know we're running a little behind on the reviews. See, Coco kind of does whatever shows he can when he can. LK, he's over in England, so he's about 5-6 hours ahead of us. And right now, it's difficult for him because he works like the graveyard shift, and it's a little bit more difficult for him to do these shows, but he does once again when he can. Sammy also works. I think he's working like 14 hours a day, and I'm not exaggerating. He works harder than a Pensacola stripper. And then you got me. I work a crazy schedule all throughout the week. This is the really first chance I've had to get on the air, but no, we're going to try to make everything right. As I mentioned, Raw and SmackDown, I need to go ahead and put together. I could go ahead and put down a little video about what I thought about those, but I'll do that in a separate one. Even find out more about big news like Shelton Benjamin has signed with WWE. He's coming back, So that'll be awesome. I kind of wish Charlie Haas would come back. We could see the revival of the world's greatest tag team. I'd like to see them take on American Alpha on SmackDown. That would be amazing. Also, LK and myself, hopefully computer problems fixed. We'll do a review of the Cruiserweight Classic tomorrow. Of course, Lucha Underground on hiatus until next year for Season 3. We need to try to sneak in a Ring of Honor review somewhere in the meantime. God, man, we're going to be busy. We're going to be busy. But all in all, so be sure to check out everything. I think that's going to wind up just doing it for me. I want to thank everybody for joining us here. We're going to get some more videos coming up, so be sure to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check us out at KocoSports.com. Showroom for Combat Sports, where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Also, check us out at ProWrestling.me. Also, here's a little preview of things to come. I'm waiting on my last package to get in the mail. For those of you who follow along, I've been doing like a review of all these wrestling subscription services, and I'm getting my last box any day now. Any day now, I should be getting. I found one more service. It's over in the UK. It's called Slobber Knocker Box. No, I'm not making that up. It should be coming in. It's shipped, but it's going to have to ship internationally, so it's taking longer. So it's going to be coming over here as soon as that, and that should be my final. That should be my final review, and then you watch everything. I've got a compilation of all the reviews I've done thus far over on the blog section of ProWrestling.me. So be sure to check that out. So this is Boom Boom for LK, Sammy, and Coco saying the boom just went bang, and I am out.